Hello, Rasa.
How you doing?
I am swell. How are you?
I am wonderful. Are you ready to know everything?
Gosh, I sure am.
Well then, let's do it. Today, I want to teach you the secret to being more organized and having more fun. And that secret is making a plan for your day.
Tell me more.
Let's say I have a bunch of things I want to do, but I'm not quite sure which ones I should do today and which things I should do other days. Something I can do to help me is make a plan. So I'm thinking, some things I want to do and have to do in the next week are my homework, making cookies, jumping on the trampoline, cutting the cat's claws, taking a shower, making doll clothes.
I'm overwhelmed already, and that's just your day. Wow, how do you keep that all in your head?
Well, the thing is, I don't. I get a piece of paper and a pencil, and I go, what are a couple things I'd like to do today? And I go, okay, I want to make cookies, play with my friend, and jump on the trampoline. So I write those things down. What are some things I have to do today? Cut the cat's claws, do my homework, and take a shower. There, now I have 3 things I want to do and 3 things I need to do. And now that they're on paper, I can follow it. What should I do this morning? I'll start by doing my homework. Now what? I'll make cookies. Then what? I'll trim the cat's claws. Then what? I'll jump on the trampoline. And so on. Now I have a plan. I know what I'm going to do today, and I can always look back and check. And that makes it easier. If a friend asks to play, then I can say, let me look at my plan. I have to finish this homework assignment, but afterwards, I can play.
It's almost like a map, but instead of being a map of how to go through space, it's a map of how to go through time.
Exactly.
What if something takes longer than you thought, or an exciting new opportunity comes up? Do you have to stick to your plan, or is it kind of guidance?
Well, you never have to stick to your plan. Nothing's going to happen to you if you don't. But it is nice, so let's think. I do have to finish my homework today, so I can't not do that. But I could do this instead of making cookies, because this seems more fun.
I got it. It's almost like you do always have to follow a plan, but you're allowed to change the plan you're following.
Pretty much.
I'm a big planner myself. Sometimes I worry, though, that I'm missing out on some of the fun that other people get from taking things one thing at a time and improvising. What do you say to someone like me?
Well, who says that having a plan doesn't mean you can't improvise? Let's say this exciting new thing comes up. Sure, I'll do that. I'm changing the plan, and so I still have a plan, but I'm also improvising. And you're not worrying about what you have to do and when you have to do it because you already know. Yes, you're working for the plan, but the plan is working for you too. Are you ready for today's poem?
Yeah, what is it?
It's called Supermarket by William Stafford. Supermarket. Every bit of yellow cheese in the market was wrapped in cellophane. Every morsel of fruit was, every sprig of celery, even tomato. All the prepared meat was in cellophane with a ribbon around it. Around the room were clear troughs made of glass and chromium. The neon sign rippled through the glass. Everyone in the market had on shined shoes, pressed clothes with cuffs and pleats. The men all wore ties, wrapped over, left to right, pulled up snug. The women all had permanents. Their mouths were coated with rogue. When you carried your cellophane food past the automatic adding machine and paid legal dollars and cents, a girl said cellophane thanks. The big machine added more dollars. The bell rang, the line moved, the gates clinked, and you blinked out into darkness.
Whoa. The plastic wrapped world. Cellophane, if you're not familiar with it, is that thin plastic wrap that things get packaged in sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And in this poem, everything, including ourselves, the store, the people, our smiles, our words, are wrapped in cellophane. Can I read it too?
But of course. I like the idea of a person being wrapped in cellophane and sold in the grocery store. Person for sale, person for sale. Get her cheap at $20.99.
Supermarket by William Stafford. Every bit of yellow cheese in the market was wrapped in cellophane. Every morsel of fruit was. Every sprig of celery. Every tomato. All the prepared meat was in cellophane, with a ribbon around it. Around the room were clear troughs made of glass and chromium. The neon sign rippled through glass. Everyone in the market had on shined shoes, pressed clothes with cuffs and pleats. The men all wore ties, wrapped over left to right, pulled up snug. The women all had permanents. Their mouths were coated with rouge. When you carried your cellophane food past the automatic adding machine and paid legal dollars and cents, a girl said cellophane thanks. The big machine added more dollars. The bell rang, the line moved, the gate clicked, and you blinked out into darkness.
Wow.
Quickly, let's just tally how many kinds of wrapping there are in this poem.
There's cellophane.
There's ribbon,
There's troughs.
glass and chromium,
Neon.
shoes, cuffs, pleats,
Ties.
permanents, which means chemicals that get your hair stuck one way or another, rouge, which means lipstick,
Adding machines. Money.
bells, gates, and finally, darkness itself.
Wow. That's at least 20.
What do you think about that ending? I thought he was going to be stepping out into light, but it's just the opposite.
He's stepping out into darkness.
Yeah. Do you think it's real darkness, or do you think it's just feeling the constriction of everyone and everything, including himself, being wrapped up?
Could be either or both.
The last thing is, it actually isn't him, isn't it? There's a twist at the end of the poem. It's just general description, but I assumed it was going to be I or him talking. But then he says, when you carried the food out and when you blinked out into darkness. Does that make it more powerful?
Yeah, it does. I feel like I'm walking in the shoes of the person in the poem that way.
It's a neat trick. It's rare. In writing, we almost always write in the first person. We say, I did this, I did that. Or what we call the third person. We say, he did that, she did that, they did that. But this is called the second person when you say, you did this, you did that. You listened to the podcast, you loved it. It's almost like we're hypnotizing our listeners, just like he's hypnotizing us readers.
You will recommend the podcast. You will give me 200 pounds of chocolate right now. Last segment of the show. Do you have a vexing question for me?
I do. Valentine's Day is right on the horizon, but what is the story behind it? What's the history of Valentine's Day? Who's Valentine? And how did we get to the chocolate and candy heart ritual we know today?
Wow, that's a great question. I'll look it up and get back to you. I'm back and I've got the answer to your vexing question. Valentine's Day has roots both in early Christian history and in ancient Rome. There are many different stories about who St. Valentine was. One of the most famous ones dates from 300 AD. Apparently, Claudius II of Rome thought that men would make better warriors if they were single, so he outlawed marriage for all young men. However, a priest named Valentine thought that this was wrong, so he married couples in secret. When the king found out, he killed him, but his story lives on, and now Valentine's Day is associated with love and romance. Fun fact, on other holidays, women do most of the shopping, but on Valentine's Day, men spend slightly more.
Is there any breakdown between fathers and daughters in Valentine's gifts and activities?
You don't have to give me anything. Just go out with Mom, and I'll babysit the cats. You Must Know Everything was produced by me, Rasa Smith, and him, Jeremy Smith. And the amazing music was by Furniture. Get cool You Must Know Everything merchandise, submit your own vexing questions, and listen to more than 50 previous episodes at our website, youmustknoweverything.com. Please rate, review, and share the show. And please tune in next time for everything you need to know.